captain's mode has just been kind of ridiculous for teams. Able to get a good amount of farm, is pretty able to contend with most offlaners if it ends up being a 1v1, and is not too bad versus the tri-lane either.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Well, with all of these bans based on the mid lane, the fact that Horde weren't really too rushed in trying to pick it up meant that they are pretty happy with picking up the Shadow Fiend here, and is going to give them a lot of that burst. Is going to have to be careful of those hooks bringing him into the middle of the fight, kind of susceptible to a little bit of the damage, but with the Dragon Lance should be able to survive a little bit more. But that's going to do it for the lineups for these two teams as we make it into the game. Do you have any pick based off of these drafts?
Seconds remaining.
So we are going to be making it into this match, the winner of which will go into the finals to play against PD Gaming. And we are going to have a pause right off the bat because that's just what happens when you try to cast Dota 2. So in terms of the other games in the open qualifiers, Bean got knocked out in the round of 16, so they are not going to be making it any further. If you're unfamiliar, that is the team that Sing Sing was playing on. We've got ProDota Gaming, the first team into the semifinal, as both of those teams in the quarterfinal received a def win, so they very quickly made it into that. And this is Slice and Dice versus the Horde, the winner of which will play against them. And then after that, the semifinals will be set. Remember, in this European qualifier, only the top team makes it into the closed qualifier. So they have to win the final, and the semis and finals will be a best of 3. So after this match, all these teams have a little bit more breathing room as they go into a game of second chances, and it's a little bit less pressure as they try to win the best of 3. Well, you could try to reconnect or restart the client. Since we are paused, it's a pretty good time to do that. Always look at some of the cosmetics for the players. I like that they have this kind of view. A lot better than trying to go into showcase mode and look at everything. Ota Cinema. Nice, so obviously going to give us a little bit better insight this time around. But in order to get that, we are going to have to start up the match. Be cool if they could actually play the taunt in this view. So we're still just waiting for these guys to start it up. Interesting that some of these guys still have the default items on their heroes instead of having... I mean, you expect that players who have been in this game for quite a while would have a huge amount of items, so maybe it's just some stylized choices. Gotta be able to keep up on your Dota fashion. Take a look at some of these effigies. I guess that is something we can do. We've got this Undying. Looks like he wants someone to let me love you. And there's also a Crystal Maiden here. It wants to be Buzz Lightyear. Yeah, no one's nice enough to give that effigy a commend anymore. We have a lot of battle cups in the Radiant base, except for one. One of them does not have the battle cup for themselves. I wonder which one it is. Oh, well, that makes sense. Sometimes you just forget to change the account or something like that, or that's one that I decided to link to face it. There could be a lot of different reasons. So hopefully this Pudge manages to get his internet situation sorted out. Definitely know how that feels. You have internet that just will not cooperate with you. At least, yeah, I feel that as well. It goes by a couple different names here in the US, but Comcast, Time Warner, Cox, which is pretty aptly named if you ask me. I just got over an entire week of issues with that though. They sent a service technician in on Friday, so he was able to get it fixed. I actually fixed it by changing back to the modem that Comcast provided. So that was great. At least the internet works. But still, it's so inconsistent sometimes. So instead of hearing us talk for a while, I'm just going to play a little bit of music while we wait for this guy to reconnect, because this is obviously not the most fun thing at all. So we are finally getting back into this quarterfinal matchup between Slice and Dice and the Horde. So we are going to be making our way into the lanes right now as the players pick up their items and make their way into the lanes. You just want to make sure they can get those early wards out on the map very quickly, and make sure that their vision stays up so that the enemy team would have to get lucky when going for the D wards. And tier 3, tier 1, a little bit far apart, but in the same lane at least. They're just on the outside of vision, so if they do go for a smoke here, they would be able to make sure that it hit. But instead, they don't really seem like they're smoking right now. It would be a little bit late. The only reason would be to go for maybe some kind of fight around the bounty rune, but it's a little bit too late for that. So I would assume that he's just holding it for a little bit longer, and it will allow the Horde to get an idea of what items have been picked up.
The battle begins!
Blessings upon a loyal warrior.
Classic mistake right there. So the Darkseer will make his way into the lane. And they're definitely looking for it. The charge into the hook should be able to hit onto it here. Maybe they're just waiting for a good hook. Actually, there's no hook at all. He's got yeah. It's kind of strange that he's so far away. He does have boots. He would be able to make it into the lane pretty quickly, but honestly, he really needs the hook for this kind of positioning to work. And Jafar, he's going to be able to just play against the Luna for now. He has to be very careful because they don't see the supports on the map at all, so they have to be wondering where exactly they are.
Didn't see that.
Yeah, he's just trying to be very safe in this lane right now. Meanwhile, at mid, it's going to be Excalibur versus Karate Kid, playing against the Invoker right there. And Invoker's been getting his lane push into the tower right now. Bottom Alucard. Again, he's in a little bit of pressure. And the positioning is going to change for Slice and Dice. They're going to be in the trees right now as the lane gets pushed up underneath the tower. With the Pudge getting towards level 2, really needs to make sure that he is going to be in range for those hooks once he gets that up.
Gold for me.
Absolutely not.
Alright, we do have the hook, or rather the rot cutting through the trees there, and they've already used the charge. This is going to force out the rotation from Nyx Assassin. Now we have a tri-lane versus tri-lane situation, and the Luna still wants to get back up on the last hits, getting beaten up a little bit here by the Vengeful Spirit. And the hook is now available for Meet Your Bob. Throwing out the hook, just misses it onto Ake. And this little ward over here to the side is giving the Radiant a lot of vision, but the Dire do not really see too much inside that jungle at all. Throwing out the stun onto Jafar, forcing out the charge. Impel's going to be off the mark from Pablo, and they're going to keep the Pudge out of it with the Spike Carapace. But now Gorge C in a lot of trouble. Magic Missile comes out. I don't really see Luna getting out of it at all. Oh, lucky bash onto him, and they're going to finish it off with the creeps just smacking right into the Witch Doctor. Lots of creeps here at the top lane. Tried to go onto Jafar. If maybe they hit that Impale, they would have gotten the kill, but maybe Pablo was just dealing with a little bit of lag there because it didn't really seem like he put his best effort into it. Meanwhile, 33 still trying to do his thing at bottom. There's a pretty big stack of the hard camp, and Darkseer now has his soul ring. Make sure that lane keeps pushing it against Alucard, making sure that it's difficult for him to last hit in this lane. Charge to the mid lane. Charging the mid lane, Invoker is gonna get the cold snap and the Sunstrike. Now Aki just comes in to throw out the paralyzing cask and keep Excalibur safe. So he's been pretty good with his rotations in the early game, and he's gonna be able to get the clarity right now. Keeping Spirit Breaker, trying to find things around the map. Is going to pop the Haste Rune and go back towards the mid lane. Should be a lot of harass on the Excalibur if he can just sit there, but he's actually going to rotate over to top with Gorgeously getting cut out once again. Has the charge, not even going to need it. Sure is going to instead switch over to a Catapult. They didn't really need the Spirit Breaker there at all, as Meet Your Rob finds another kill onto the Loon, who's not really having a good time here at all. At bottom, also we have some Metamorphosis being popped, and the Sunstrike should secure the Darkseer kill. Alucard staying alive with that healing salve, just getting it right back up after a lot of damage. Meanwhile, at top, there's going to be damage on the Pudge. Pudge in some trouble, surrounded by 3. Now they're also looking for the Jaffer Vengeful Spirit, but there's not another Impale for another 2 seconds, so they don't really have the ability to go any further onto that. Meanwhile, at the bottom lane, we do have Alucard still in the Metamorphosis for a couple of seconds, putting some huge damage on the 33. Eventually, that's going to end, so it is now on cooldown for quite a few seconds, one of the longest cooldown spells in the game, but he is...
No!
Excalibur once... Yeah, it comes in from behind, and Karate Kid should have another cold snap. There's a meatball as well. Dead Excalibur, so easy. Impale again off the mark from Pablo. Uses the spike carapace just when that bash comes in from the Spirit Breaker, and they're actually going to try to charge this down a little bit, looking for another one, but it's going to have to be really lucky there. Pablo is going to have the Spirit Breaker, and he's going to hit that Impale with the headshot on him. Very easy kill, looking for a kill on the Karate Kid, but he's going to be able to create the separation that he needs to get away as Excalibur gets back into the mid lane.
Death and good are linked.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
The hook is going to be missed by the Pudge, but still this Luna is going to be in a lot of trouble very soon with the Spirit Breaker charging her. She is going to try to keep herself safe in behind the tower here, and Spirit Breaker decides to cancel his charge. Does not really want to go in all that far. Slice and Dice going in from behind. Next charge is off cooldown right now. They just need some vision of the Luna, which just that little film of fog is going to keep her in a good position for now. And does have the Witch Doctor behind her with the Arcane Rune, which will wear off in a couple seconds. But look at this, through the jungle, they're looking for Excalibur. They know that he's farming there with his rotation off of the mid lane, and Spirit Breaker's just going to sit there. Doesn't really know that he's there, and they're going to see each other right now. So Excalibur knows that he's going to be forced away, and oh wow, immediate bash from the Spirit Breaker. And meanwhile at bottom, alright, I know about the screen issue, but I'll just keep... Yeah, they did get him. And died to the...
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Killing spree.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
About the screen, guys, having a couple of issues with the graphics drivers. I just try to fix it as fast as possible. You did miss a lot of action. 3 people end up dying on the map, and Aki also going to get found out on top. And there's going to be a charge.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, that's all he has in his inventory right now. Would definitely like to get a little bit more, but he's just been feeling so much pressure this game. 0-3-1. Gonna be able to take care of the Satyr Creep. Very early Helmet Dominator from Vengeful Spirit. And they do have the Metamorphosis available from the Terrorblade as well. Nice Vacuum is going to clear off that charge, and it looks like 33 is going to be completely fine from the aggression. Excalibur rotated to bottom. Meanwhile, at mid, we've got a lot of damage onto the Invoker with the Impale, looking for the paralyzing cast. Perfect onto him. It's going to get both of the stuns. They're going to make sure that they possibly get the Karate Kid, but he puts out a perfect Deafening Blast right after the spike carapace, and this is going to be Meet Your Bob coming back in, trying to chase down Karate Kid, but Pablo just does not have any spells to try to chase this down. So Invoker's going to be able to get away as Pablo uses the spike carapace to try to be fine, but that's just going to be the magic stick coming through from Meet Your Bob. Still doesn't have enough mana for another hook, so Pablo is going to get charged. Meanwhile, at bottom, Alucard's been forced away thanks to Excalibur. He's going to go over. All right, that is going to be an easy bash from the Spirit Breaker as Pudge gets enough mana for the Dismember, and Alucard, all right, is going to go right for the Metamorphosis. Sunstrike not even needed to kill the Shadow Fiend there. Alucard gets the kill with Metamorphosis. Jaffer is still farming up the Storm at top. He has gotten the Blightstone on himself as well. And what's that on the Courier? It's just a... I don't know, maybe he got a Clarity or something. But in any case, they are going to smoke up now. They have the Spirit Breaker charge, a Magic Missile, and the Centaur Stomp on that as well. Smoke is going to break. Aki in trouble. Throws up Paralyzing Cast in time. Isn't going to be enough. The bash comes in from area, and that is going to be the Witch Doctor dying once again. Just a very difficult game for him here. Hook, oh, it was so long, but not long enough to get Excalibur. And at bottom, wall drop down, but it's not going to matter at all. Pablo in 33 do manage to get the Terrorblade kill.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower
With the supports getting their levels up right now, we're finding a Pudge that's able to get good dismembers. Pablo is going around the map with the Vendettas now, so we're starting to see these supports come online a little bit with their levels.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
And we got towers going down all over the map right now. Gorsi just trying to find any amount of farm that he can behind the Vengeful Spear right now, not yet at his home on the Dominator. An area looking for that charge, but there's just so much personnel here for the Horde. It's going to be difficult to go into them. It's 4 heroes showing up right now, and I don't know if it's been scouted out by area. Does put out the word there. Can they find him? It's a little bit far for the Impale, and they're going a long way for it. He'll charge away, and he'll cancel it immediately just so that he stays in the area in case he would be needed for any kind of gank. Yeah, right near the shrine, which isn't active. Pablo goes underneath most of the Radiant side. Magic Missile out onto the Dark Sphere. He does have the backing up in 5 seconds. Here comes the Eclipse from Gorsi, turning it around. Alucard in some trouble. He does have the Sunder available to him. Ake just is going to get super low, chased down by a Centaur, and that's not really a good place for him at all. So they get 1 kill on the back of it. Spirit Breaker, the only one to fall on the Slice and Dice, is Meet Your Bob trying to get 33, looking to juke the hook, but Alucard is going to find him on the other side. The rest of the team, they are going to find the kill on the Jaffer. Alucard now trying to get away from 33, getting himself very low. There's the Sunder, and Darkseer is going to pay for getting the Terrorblade that low. Luna's just going to find a little bit of farm with the Centaur. They are continuing to stay on the Radiant side of the map. Meet Your Bob with another hook. Is he going to be able to hit it? Throws it out, gets it on the Nyx Assassin. Impale, he had to do so much with Silent Paralyzing Cat. It's going to keep Pablo alive for a little bit longer, but Area gets the ultimate up to the high ground and kills him off. Meanwhile, Pudge is going to die for that one. Can he charge away? He's going to smack Aki in the face after he uses the charge, and looks like Thomas the Tank Engine is going to his next destination.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So can you put a little bit of some kind of a frame for us to look at that fight with? Nyx again looking around the map. He did have that ion shell on him, and we talked about how that can just do a little bit of extra damage to heroes as the Nyx tries to take him down, but he's got to find the right targets, and with the Sentry Ward in the mid lane, it's not really a good place for him to go at all. Still, Meet Your Bob looking for that hook across the river. Gonna have to be pretty on target with those. It's very difficult to hit the hook sometimes, so anytime he is able to do it, you've got the positioning advantage. Pulling a hero right into a really bad situation, like being right next to a Pudge, is never good in itself, but when you're able to just take advantage of the positioning it creates, then it's pretty easy to create a 4v5. Double damage rune on Pablo for now. Gets the Impale to make sure that the creep wave gets pushed out, and Karate Kid is going to get stunned up for a little bit thanks to the paralyzing cast. Lucent Beam is there. He's trying to heal up right now. 33 going forward. Oh, nice hook back on the court. In some trouble, does have the Eclipse, but it's really nice. It's been worth it. Healed up a little bit. Beautiful vacuum into 3 with the wall there. Karate Kid about to fall. Meteor Bob is dead as well. Paralyzing cast is there so much. Death Ward is going to take out 3 on the mid lane. And wow, they do so much there, and they're also going to find the tier 1 tower after and defend the bottom lane from the metamorphosis.
Tower is under attack.
And 33 is going to be swapped in by, oh wow, swapped in by Jafar, and Witch Doctor gets us under to the face. Aki is really not having a good time at all here. He is 1-6. Did get a great death ward in the last fight, but it seems like the enemy team just really wants to slice and dice him every time.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
All right. We do have the Dismember out onto Excalibur, and the Sunstrike is there. Very easy to combo that down. You lose your soul. It sounds so terrible, but it makes a lot of sense when you're talking about a Shadow Fiend. It was an area of the map where you can definitely expect a Sentry Ward to be, especially right. You get a little bit of vision there and take an easy Excalibur kill, but now we see the Nyx Assassin wants to get a little bit more done. Has the Iron Shell for a couple seconds on the Jaffer, tries to get him low. Jaffer trying to back away as Nyx Assassin continues to chase him down. Vendetta should be able to hit, and well, Jaffer just a little bit too tanky here with the 17 wand charges, and he just pops underneath the Sentry Ward. Damage is pretty good, but Spike Carapace easily used to get the pressure off of Nyx Assassin. So right now, Darkseer is actually second on the net worth, trying to keep that farm up. He's very close to a Blink Dagger. That last fight did him very well, and the only one on top of him is the Terrorblade. And with this pretty big dual core system that Slice and Dice are running, their late game potential is absolutely huge here. In some trouble. Is doing great this game, but his Blink Dagger is going to be a little bit delayed right now. Excalibur wants to get the Requiem of Souls off, but Area's just a little bit tanky right now, and Requiem is at level 2. Is he going to go for him with the Shadow Blade? He takes him a little bit lower. There's one raise, looking for a little bit more. Nice paralyzing cast from Ake, helping Excalibur to secure the kill. Find one at bottom. He's taking down those Ancients right now. Vengeful Spirit is going to be stopped at top as, well, Pablo's going to be able to try to chase her down. Also, Pablo has the Blink Dagger. Oh no, she's going to take the Bounty Rune. Alright, she got that one. So maybe Pablo's going to try to go into her now, but just the amount of tankiness on the Vengeful Spirit makes it very difficult to kill her at this stage of the game. So the role kind of changes. Actually, at top, there's going to be a Sunstrike on the Gortzy as the Spirit Breaker charges in. Impale just a little bit late. They try to take down Japper right now. Excalibur doing some good damage. Paralyzing Cast going to go between the Wolfie and the Vengevy. I don't know. I was trying to do something weird there. But in any case, they do kill off the Wolf, and they want a little bit more here. As Spirit Breaker is going to get hit by a couple of raises from Excalibur. He picks up a double there. Good rotation in reaction to the Luna kill to the top lane. And still, like we keep saying, they're not taking care of the Terrorblade at all. Very close to his Manta style. It's about 50 gold from it, so he will be able to buy that up now. And he'll be able to keep moving around the map and do a huge amount of damage and a lot of tower pressure, because it doesn't really seem like, while Horde do have some good rotations, not really worrying about the split push so much. It's almost something that Horde are forced into right now, just because of the tankiness of Slice and Dice. They have to use so many heroes to try to get the enemy down that these rotations have to be big in order to get anything done in the fights. That's pretty sad. Just thinking about a Space Cow being the lowest HP on your team is just a really harrowing thought when you're trying to play against it. But the push will come in from mid. Excalibur should take the tower down pretty quickly, but Meet Your Bob, he is just waiting for that hook. There's going to be the Force Spirit coming in, trying to bait them in, but they see him. They get the Nyx Assassin with the Impale, but this is the push that they're going into the trees where he's going to try to TP away. Is he going to make it? No, Vacuum Bag is going to keep him there. It says, why don't you stay a little bit longer? The Pudge dies, the tier 1 tower ends up falling in I think we're just gonna have to ignore that for the rest of the game and not really talk about it. Hopefully he can figure out, maybe he has to go rebind the keys. Well, in any case, Roshan's still alive. The Horde with that small advantage might have thought about going for it, but when your Luna misclicks the Eclipse, it tends to put a damper on things. So again, Slice and Dice will continue to farm around the map. That's what they've been going for most of the time with the Terrorblade, and he's going to be getting a BKB pretty soon. One of the most important parts of his build-up in this game.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Here comes the initiation swap out on the Gortzy. They're going to throw out the magic missile, but here comes the Impale. Just hits onto the Luna, which is not really what he was trying to target. Here comes the Spirit Breaker charge right for Pablo, in a little bit of trouble, but the charge is going to be canceled. Ake on the backside of this one, not really in a good position himself. Excalibur looking for the Requiem of Souls, but they're actually going to back up from it. They don't see him. Nice vacuum on the 3, but the center charge, the center stomp is there as well. In the middle of it all, Horde doing some damage. Requiem of Souls on top of everything. The damage is so huge from the Horde. Alucard in a huge amount of trouble. Is going to be hooked out by the punch. Is he actually going to make it out? That Centaur is moving so fast with the third. Where's the stomp? It's going to be dismembered, forcing out dismember from the Pudge, but they keep chasing him down. Excalibur wants that kill. They're not going to get the Impale. Alucard, he wanted to get the Sunder off, but man, he just was not able to get the vision that he needed. Thought about it, couldn't do it, and now Horde, this is time for the Roshan. Yeah, absolutely. That vacuum was impeccable. And is he also... No, who has the Helmet Dominator? That was Luna. Yeah, so... She has that one. That also got a beautiful stomp on top of that vacuum as well, getting that Centaur in position. That just goes to show how fantastic it is to have the Helm of Dominator right now with the 425 move speed on the creeps.
A gift from the goddess.
His next item is actually going to be a Crimson Guard, which he has nearly built up right now. Pudge has not seen Pablo. Pablo's still hanging out there, and he sees the Pudge, misses the impel. It's a very difficult thing for him to hit this match. Almost trying to bait him in. Meteor Bob really wants to try to keep himself alive, but the one who is going to feel most of the pressure is Terrorblade as he tries to get into the trees. Scoured out by Excalibur. He's going to go around just to try to catch him out. Their vision, though, it's not there. Alucard just trying to act like nobody sees him, but in fact, people do. They found him inside the trees. Horde are going to get him. They get the impel. They get the Centaur Stomp, and there's absolutely no way for the Thunder to be used there at all.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So the tier 2 tower very low, and actually the Shadow Fiend wants to try to get into this, but has to be careful of the vision. Coming in is the Dark Seer as well. He's got his Blink Dagger available, goes to the high ground, gets the vacuum on the 2. He's going to be making sure that the Pudge is going to die. They get the swap off onto the Spirit Breaker, putting him into a little bit of trouble. Pablo's still trying to chase him down. They're going to have to go underneath the tier 2 tower for this one as Crowder Kid gets the combo off. There's the tornado into the meatball combo, and they do get the Sunstrike. It's going for 33, but he's still pretty tanky. Area trying to do some damage out to Pablo. Pablo uses the Spike Carapace to try to get away. They are going to get a mega kill streak onto the Excalibur, and here comes 33. Wants to make sure that he gets a good vacuum. Gets to far back, just outside the base. Looking for a little bit more stunnage here. Paralyzing Cast is available. Here comes a nice reflection from the Terrorblade, and it's going to force out the wow, look at all these Luna Illusions doing some ridiculous damage. Actually going to do 2 kills with it, and Excalibur tries to get away. There is no vision for this Silver Edge, though, as he tries to get out just very slowly with the Ice Wall still there. Excalibur, oh man, there's a T over to the Shrine, but that might be a little bit more than Pudge is willing to deal with. Pablo getting away, and they are going to see him as the Silver Edge runs up. BKB used looking for the Rock Lane, but that's not really enough at all. Hit by the Dismember, and the poor Shadow Fiend is going to fall as soon as that Silver Edge runs out.
Well-gotten gains.
Bonus damage and the glaives. It just absolutely blew up the Dire side in that last fight, so it's something they're going to have to be worried about when Alucard is going to be getting off those good reflections, and well, maybe he puts himself in a position for a little bit more in the future. And Steve is showing up there on the Shadow Fiend, though, still at the top of the net worth, just a little bit ahead of the Terrorblade, who was having a whole lot of space created for him this match. And look at Jaffer and Area, they are just so ready to be able to get something off here inside the jungle. They've got some plans cooking up. If we look at the net worth graph, it's just a little bit on the side of Slice and Dice. XP is a roller coaster of a story, still on the side of Slice and Dice, though, after that last fight. Almost like they're playing some demented version of tic-tac-toe. Well, Centaur is going to scout out the Pudge, but Pudge, seeing them, is going to very smartly back away from that. And still, Horde trying to regain their organization. Nice ward placed down in the Dire jungle is going to get most of the vision of the rotations of Horde here. And it's not being dewarded just yet. on area. We do have a couple of wards being delivered. He needs to use that Hand of Midas as the creep camps are going to spawn in about 20 seconds, so he really wants to get that off. Meanwhile, Karate Kid creating a lot of pressure at bottom onto the tower, and he's well, it only took a couple of hits from him. Very easy to take down that tower. It's a lot of tornadoes.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Sounds like there's an Ursa in this game or something. That's just my alerts, which I haven't turned off because the thing is, oh my god, this is gonna get really annoying. I might have to remove it because the thing is, even if I don't have the source active on the scene, it still plays the sound. So if it gets bad enough, if you guys keep following, I will turn that off. But thank you for everybody supporting the stream. In any case, they are still moving around the map. Nyx Assassin looking for the Vendetta to hit, building up the Aghanim Scepter, and he's actually really close right now. We have a lot of grouping up on the Radiant side. Alucard sitting there with the rest of Slice and Dice. They're not going to smoke up just yet. They're waiting a little bit longer to see how Horde are doing on the map.
Generation.
Push will go in on the bottom lane. Horde, they're taking it down right now. Gorge C is leading the charge with the rest of his team. It's just going to be a tier 2 for tier 2 that looks like Radiant are going for the trade, but Horde are winning that fight right now. They're going to try to take the tier 3 out most likely, and I guess Slice and Dice are going to try to defend it. They're still keeping a lot of heroes at top. Alright, they're actually going to put a full rotation in back towards bottom. Trying to see if either team would try to go for a base trade. There was a Metamorphosis available on the Terrorblade, so they could have tried to put a little bit more pressure on the tower, but they decide against it, decide that they don't really want to put the fate of their team in the hands of that kind of base trade. Yeah, it is getting close to that time where Excalibur would finish the butterfly, though. Instead of the butterfly, what kind of item do you think we're going to see from him? It's definitely a good bit of survivability as well as the extra range that it gives you.
Clean over.
Well-gotten gains.
Well, it is just one hero with the MKB, so like say if they take care of the Terrorblade early into the fight, it's not going to give him any more survivability. That is true about the MKB. It's just really trying to counter any butterflies or evasion being built up. So it's just one hero. If they can take care of it, then that butterfly is free to fly free. Or at least you want a little bit more effectiveness before the enemy team picks up the MKB. Jaffer a little bit far up in the mid lane, has a little bit of support from his team, and there's going to be a blinking from Pablo, just a little bit of harass at this point. The rest of his team needs to get in. Nice drop back onto Pablo, putting him in a lot of trouble. There is going to be the spike carapace, stopping things for a little bit. Pablo with a lot of damage, he's not going to be able to stay alive. Alright, the hook is not going to get hit, and he's actually in the middle of that burrow, so he's got a lot of health regen, and getting him right back up alongside his Ake, who has the Buddha Restoration, getting him up to a reasonable amount of health as well. So a little bit of a scary time for Pablo, but gets into the burrow. Yeah, they can try, and actually both teams can go for it. They're both going to heal up, get their mana back, and see if they can post up for this Roshan.
Death and good are linked.
Looks like Slice and Dice are going to try to find a pick off before they actually go for it. And Darkseer might be the guy that gets picked off, although his Centaur is going to be Midas. That's not really a good fate for him. Turned into gold. Nice impale onto the mark of Spirit Breaker, and that's going to make the aggression stop. Meanwhile, we still have Excalibur over at bottom, trying to make sure that this bottom lane is pushed out. But this is going down a little bit quickly. And the Roshan about to fall. Yeah. Do they actually want to fight here?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, it wasn't really a good place. Maybe they could have engaged after the Roshan as the Radiant were coming out of the pit, just in that little bottleneck area. But they kind of lose their opportunity there, and just a little bit slow on the rotation. Luna just has to farm so much right now. She is at 4,200 gold. Interesting that she hasn't decided to go for her next item just yet. Alright, cool. So she... Look at that haste rune on the Nyx Assassin, moving like a weaver almost. This bug is moving fast. And Pablo just looking for some kind of opening, but Slice and Dice, they're playing pretty well as a unit, and they're not giving too much up. Kind of wondering why most of the aggression from Horde is focusing around the bottom lane. It used to be Roshan, now they're going to bottom, but they've already cut through 2 tier 2 towers, so maybe they just think that it offers them some space. Yeah, I'm interested to see how this Nyx Assassin works with the Aghanim Scepter. We know that it provided him the survivability that he needed to stay alive in the last engagement, but we've seen it come absolutely huge in fights, and we could see some really good synergy with it and the vacuum later in this game. Still trying to get those pushes into the lanes. Darkseer throwing out some Ion Shell creeps, keeping that pushed in. There's a little bit more vacuum AoE thanks to his talent. So even more coverage with that ability, making it ever so stronger.
Gift from the goddess.
Double damage.
It doesn't get as much utility from that item, and maybe he could have gone for some other things, but he is going to continue his build up here towards the Satanic. He's actually kind of close to it, maybe about 2,000-ish gold before he wants to buy it. Still gonna have to be thinking about the buyback right now, and they are going to find Spirit Breaker. Not even a chance to TP out of there, and that's actually the gem dropping on the ground. 33 is going to go pick it up. Here comes the Tornado EMP combo. Darkseer up in the air, but there's not really too much of an initiation pressure from the Invoker after that one. And indeed, he's going to have to be careful. Excalibur has a Silver Rush up in 3 seconds, staying out of vision until then. I almost thought he was going to try to go in to try and kill the Invoker, but it was not really the right timing. And they're going to buy up another gem on the Pudge. So they do lose a gem on Spirit Breaker. They're going to pick up another one for themselves. So very important for the map control, getting the G wards, as well as seeing Excalibur and Pablo moving around the map. So apparently this game is going long enough that people have to go to the bathroom. It's a little bit, I mean, necessary, obviously. You know, generally you do see that sort of thing happening around the 60-minute mark, but, you know, a game gets so excited, guys gotta go. Happens. You can take this opportunity to talk about some of the talents that are picked up. They give us a little bit of insight into the individual player choices and what they're trying to gain with this match. You talked about the XP gain on the Invoker, going for the Tornado early. Are there any other talents that stand out? Yeah, so maybe it's more of an initiation thing, to make sure you get those, say, the Pudges and the Invokers trying to hang around the back edges of the fight. But like you said, BKBs make things like that a little bit more difficult to pull off, and even the Spirit Breakers can be building up one of those as well. So he's going to be immune from that if he can get it off in time as well. Well, that's why you get Refresher. That's why you get Refreshers, so that you can miss one vacuum and then miss the other one, like right after it. Just gotta refresh that vacuum all the time. Taking a look at these BKBs for the Radiant side, most of them are at the full 10-second duration. Or hasn't been able to. Yeah, well, it's been the pickoffs on him, honestly. Like, if they can find the pick, they say, get the paralyzing cast, get a vacuum, get an impale. Like, they've been controlling him out, and that's how they've been killing him in the past. But the thing is, if he does get that BKB off and take it lower than 10 seconds for one time in this game, it's definitely gonna be a lot. Interesting that the next item from Alucard is going to be a Scotty. Actually, the same amount of HP as the Spirit Breaker. It's been a lot of fun to be able to watch this guy's HP the entire game, just very low. Alright, so Courier goes over to the secret shop to see that it still has the Orb of Venom in its inventory. Might have been the Terrorblade wanting to buy up the Scotty, but looks like Spirit Breaker is going to say not just yet. Pablo picking up an invis room for himself. So most of these teams are playing more as a unit. It's the part of the game where they do not want to be picked off at all, as this is still the best of one. So we're not at the semifinals just yet. If you make one mistake here, it definitely could cost them the game. He's actually going to forgo the buyback.
Endurance run!
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
How long has the Invoker had this Scythe of Ice for?
What serpent is this?
So he's gonna have that. So we're seeing a lot of these players not really wanting to keep buyback up. The only ones that have it are Jaffer and Meet Your Bob. So looks like neither of these teams really wants to fight too much right now since they don't have the buyback. The stakes are just incredibly high at this stage of the game.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, I think he's had those as well. Stone X Assassin looking...
Blessings upon a loyal warrior.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Does mean that he won't be able to take advantage of it for the rest of the match, but still great to have that. Nooks Roshan, it's going to be respawning in 1:30, so that might be where we start to see these teams focus most of their energy on. We do have more of a push coming in bottom from Slice and Dice, and the tower is going to fall top, so big waves showing up there. Horde start to build those up. This could be a tier 2 tower taken without a whole lot of response from the Horde either, as they are still trying to get organized and doesn't really seem like a big aspect of their game. Slice and Dice pushing in the tier 2 tower and might even think about a little bit more. Horde decided they need to defend their tier 3 tower and defend their base, and Slice and Dice don't really seem to show any kind of intention of stopping this anytime soon. Meet Your Bob ready with the hook. If he comes up near the tier 3 tower, it would definitely be licensed to throw down the Excalibur, being very aware of that and does not want to put himself into a bad situation. Tower takes a huge amount of damage from that, but that's going to be as far as the push goes.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They're prepared for it. Yeah, they want to go up to the high ground, but the smoke's going to break on Ake. They could get a hook, and they're just going to get it. Oh, Ake almost seemed like he got away from it, but he is going to fall there. BKB popped on area. Really did not want to get stunned out there at all. Maybe a little bit preemptive, but they can definitely go for Roshan right now. The creep is going to scare it out for the Dire side, and Witch Doctor with that respawn cooldown, or sorry, the respawn reduction time talent taken. He's actually going to respawn in 15 seconds, but that might be more than enough time to take for Slice and Dice to go and take this. Oh, nice vacuum onto 3, and that's going to be as far as the Dark Sphere goes. He's going to get hecked immediately. Beautiful hook on the Excalibur, putting him into a terrible spot. There's a Sunstrike. They're actually going to knock him out of it. Blue clips all over the place. Alucard is going to stand with the BKB, doing as much damage as possible. Excalibur in the middle of everything. There's the EMP, the Tornado, the meatball dropped right on top of his face. He's in a lot of trouble, and he is going to fall right to Alucard, who's just absolutely unfettered in this one. Area just gets the charge out on the Nyx Assassin. Death Ward's going to be there, but Ake only does so much damage with it. Gem is on the ground. They actually buy back on Excalibur, and they're going to try to find Alucard. His team is left entirely. Vacuum into the middle of the wall. Alucard in so much trouble. Karate Kid trying to do some work. Nice Thunder is going to get him right back up as 33 still wants to chase him down. Alucard, oh, beautiful long range swap back by the Vengeful Spear. Vengeful Spear getting the Terror Blade out of the middle of the fight there, and he's actually going to be fine for now, making it all the way back to his base, but they want to chase down Meteor. Bob Pablo has the Impale right on top of the Pudge. That's going to be 4 down. Triple kill for Gorgsy, getting back to this game in a big way. They'll be able to take a tier 2 tower down, and there's only 2 buybacks available for the Radiant side. They'll use one of them right now. They force so many buybacks, and the question here for Slice and Dice is, are they actually going to be able to contest this at all? It seemed like they really wanted to disengage from a fight, but Terrorblade didn't get that telephone call. Maybe he should switch to email or something so he gets notifications on his phone, because he was just kind of left out there by his team, and they had to spend a lot trying to defend him. Yeah, they've got the Aegis. The Cheese is on the Dark Sphere, so he can feed that to some just dying invalid whenever he wants. And yeah, Slice and Dice, when they had the BKBs down, which took so long, like Excalibur, it seemed like he just didn't die at all that fight. Stood strong and did some damage. I think also part of the problem was the Terrorblade, the one guy with the MKB. He was, well, Vengeful Spear has it now, but he was focusing on the backside of the fight the whole time and wasn't really putting a lot of the pressure onto Shadow Fiend at all. Sometimes when you look at the carries, it's their job to take care of the backline, make sure that things like the Witch Doctor or you know, other support like heroes that are not very difficult to kill are not able to get their utility off. A nice dodge of the hook by Ake, getting the vision advantage, and they're gonna blink for it. Look, the vacuum onto 2. Dark Sphere is going to go forward, but it's going to force out another BKB on area. He just charges down that illusion, so they take the tower, and they also force out a BKB, and 33 doesn't spend so much for it. He's got another vacuum up in 13 seconds. We've got the items continuing to show up here for the Shadow Fiend, working towards the Daedalus. He's got 5,000 gold, looking to go forward. Meteor Bob is going to get jumped on, and he's got his hook available as well as the Dismember. It's just going to get the Force Staff over the wall as oh, beautiful hook, predicted hook, looking for that Force Staff, and he's going to be able to get the Nyx Assassin right into the base. And now Horde have to respond to this a little bit. He's still burrowed, very difficult to kill here, but they do know exactly where that Nyx Assassin is, and Horde just have to back up after that one. He was taken so far into the base with that beautiful prediction hook by the Pudge.
Well-gotten gains. Coin of the realm.
You see late games where this Hex just becomes ridiculously effective. In Refresher is great, you can get 2 walls, you can get 2 vacuums, and you get a shit ton of illusions. But I mean, if you're able to get the control onto the Terrorblade, which his team was kind of lacking, after a while. Like, it's difficult to hit an impale sometimes. Some of their stuns were kind of not very reliable. So they get the Hex instead, which is going to make sure that the Terrorblade, if he doesn't have the BKB off, is going to be feeling a lot of pressure in these fights. Oh, they're chasing him down, backing back into the wall, looking for the Hex. They need to know which Terrorblade is the right one, and 33 keeps on going for him, almost like he's trying to bait out the BKB, but they're not going to be able to do that just yet.
Tower is under attack.
I just love these mind games that the Darkseer is playing. 33 is like, am I gonna Hex? Am I gonna Hex? And unfortunately, Alucard didn't take the bait, but still a great try. Just make sure that those cooldowns and durations continue to decrease. And right now we have Slice and Dice trying to set up shop near the Dire Secret Shop, almost like they're trying to convert the shopkeeper over to their side. Maybe sell the Dire side some defective items. They're just going to back up after getting a little bit of vision there. You look at our net worth graph, it is pretty far on the side of Horde after a game that was mostly in favor of the Radiant. XP is about 6,000 in favor of the Horde as well. And it looks like Pablo wants to get something done. The Gem of True Sight's still on the Spirit Breaker, and they're trying... Oh yeah, he is going to be... Oh, blink a little bit too far. So you get the blink into the trees, but the thing about the scan is it doesn't tell you where exactly the hero is. So...
Endurance run! Endurance run! Invisibility!
And mid, we do have a couple of heroes just lying in wait here for somebody to show up. Yeah, they're going to be going in with the Spirit Breaker, trying to disrupt that TP. Witch Doctor in a lot of trouble. Sunstrike is going to get him very low, and Horde just want to try to get a disengage here. They see him with the Gem of True Sight on Spirit Breaker and take him out. Horde will just try to back away from that one. It's only a Witch Doctor at that point, and they want to keep going for it.
Quick sprint!
Yeah, they are taking it just very slow. They're having a lot of patience as they go for these towers, and even without an Aegis, they're getting that slow siege out onto the Dire base. So Horde, they need to make some kind of answer here. Ion Shell onto Pablo, and he's trying to chase down these heroes. Alucard getting back to the rest of his team. They have the high ground. Spirit Breaker up there with the Gem of True Sight. How far does Pablo want to go? Karate Kid moves up. He's looking for the Impale. He's going to be able to hit it. Now they want to try to initiate onto the Invoker, but is there going to be something else? Nice swap back for the Vengeful Spirit, but it's not going to do anything else as Excalibur and Illogical needs to get the BKB, needs to get the Satanic, but he's going to pop here. Yes, buyback is going to go right back in. Beautiful fight from the Dire so far. Deathward's just doing a ridiculous amount of damage for Ake, and Alucard has to go for the backline. Invoker back in the fight. He's brought back. Buyback from the Spirit Breaker as well. They're going to kill a Terrorblade, and they get the ward out in the middle of the lane, just in the middle of it. It doesn't really matter. Pablo just wants to make sure they don't have vision as Karate Kid gets the double kill with his buyback, and he also has to try to get that away as his BKB is going to expire soon, but Pablo is not going to be able to find him with the Spirit Breaker getting back in the fight. They used 2 buybacks for it, and it was absolutely necessary to try to get anything against Horde after that one. So it was a strong fight from both sides. It did require a lot of buyback from Slice and Dice, meaning that, it's not just the Shadow Fiend that is the problem. They also have to worry about the different heroes on the team, and well, they did manage to focus him down this time, but they still have some other problems to deal with.
What surge is this?
That's the thing, the Spirit Breaker, his position wasn't necessarily bad. He was sitting on the high ground up here where his team really expected to try to initiate from. Almost like they expected the Invoker to get, hit with a lot of stuns in the mid lane, but in the end they didn't really seem like they were too prepared for it, which is a little bit strange considering the position. Assassin still looking for that initiation, but this time he would actually be pushing into the Spirit Breaker, who still has that gem on himself. And oh, look at that melee creep. He's like, into the Roche Pit I go. He does scout it out, but gets immediately killed by Alucard. Just more than enough damage to deal with that melee creep. Yeah, they're gonna try to go for it. Nice 3-man vacuum, trying to force out some BKBs. Puts the wall right onto... Yeah, they're gonna be able to get him. Oh, but he gets the force up Riverside. Are able to kill the Darkseer, but not before he puts the wall down. So this is a no-no zone for Slice and Dice, but they're actually gonna do exactly that. Okay, Excalibur is gonna die. Gork's gonna buy back on the Darkseer. They need to use a lot of resources for this one. Nice Hurricane Pike out by Gork, and they are going to chase him down. Double kill by Alucard. Triple kill for him. They're gonna cut right through him, and these buybacks are absolutely necessary for the Horde. Nice discipline from Darkseer not to go back into that fight.
Middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Not fail again.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, they can't find the Roche. The other thing is this access to any place near the pit is going to be taken out, as the shrine is going to fall very quickly to Slice and Dice, so it is time for them to push their advantage. They've taken a tier 3 tower out, and they will get the Aegis with this one.
On a loyal warrior.
Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
Mortality.
So this time it is Slice and Dice that have the advantage of the Roshan on their side. They get the 4th one of the game, and we'll see where they decide to go on the map with this one. They still have a couple of buybacks available. Did Horde use it after that last fight? Yeah, they don't have buybacks up on anyone right now. So Slice and Dice, they have a pretty big advantage with their buybacks right now, and they also have the Aegis and Cheese, so one would expect them to try to put this in, and they try to take control of the lanes and making sure that Horde are going to pay for having their buybacks down after this one. They're going to try to fight this out though. Blade Mail, yeah, on the Darkseer most likely, because he feels like if he's just going to get focused down, he's not even going to get a chance to use the refresher and get the second vacuum off, so you may as well just put out the Blade Mail and hope that the team does a lot of damage to themselves when they try to kill you. And get these illusions out of the base. Karate Kid just goes up, blinks away as soon as the raises start to come out from Excalibur. And the push will come in pretty hard from the Slice and Dice in the mid lane, and they're focusing most of their efforts here, feeling that they can just go for the frontal assault. Looking for a hook from Meteor Bob. He's had some good ones this game. Excalibur will sit there, and he's only going to get the Forge Spirit. And EMP on the backside, Karate Kid is going to just kind of throw it out as a warning shot to Horde. They keep trying to get the illusions out of the base. B can't be used by the Luna, and there's going to be a swap by Japper going in for it this one, but he's taking a lot of damage here. He is staying alive. Area in the middle of everything. Meteor Bob is going to get this member off onto Steve. Yeah, as Excalibur is going to be taking a huge amount of damage. Alucard in the middle of everything though. There's the wall, and there's going to keep being illusions of the Terrorblade made. Wrecking on the backside. They're only going to find the Pudge. Can they get a little bit more? 40 seconds respawn on Pudge. He's going to get back in this one pretty quickly. Impale hits on the nothing, but the Hex is there for Terrorblade as he tries to get away. Alucard, they have the high ground now. Are they going to be able to do anything with it? There's a beautiful reflection. This is going to do a huge amount of damage for Alucard. They're going to get a double kill on Excalibur, though. He's still finding kills out of this one. Pablo burrowed, and he's going to get a beautiful impale on the 2. Can they initiate off of it? Looking for the paralyzing cast. It's not off cooldown just yet. No, still 4 seconds. Nice vacuum on the 2 once again. Alucard has a Sunder. Uses it on the Excalibur, who's going to Satanic right now. Try to get that health back, and now the Invoker in a lot of trouble is hexed by 33. They're about to get the age, and they want a little bit more. Buyback still available in Terrorblade and Vengeful Spear as the Pudge respawns. Blink away by Karate Kid, trying to be chased down by the rest of Horde. They really want him, but he's going to be moving so fast with the Ghost Walk. They are also going to find the Pudge with the Blink and the Impale from Pablo. There's a Hex from 33 as well, forcing on a buyback on the Spirit Breaker. Can they actually kill the Pudge here? They're focusing a lot onto him. Nick's completely out of mana here. There's going to be the Spirit Breaker ultimate to the backside. Dismember onto Witch Doctor, keeping out of the fight. There's the Sunstrike onto him as well. Hook! Oh, that's a huge hook, but it's not going to be able to hit onto Ake. It just looks so big there, and they're going to kill off the Pudge. He's dead for another 40 seconds at respawn time. Really helping him out here, but Horde find another one, but they're going to be a little bit cautious, going for a little bit more.
Invigoration.
Yeah, they did waste a lot on that. I mean, it's good for them to continue to get heroes off the map, but at this point, you gotta be wondering where your aggression is going and make sure that it continues to be effective here. Ake taking some farm inside the jungle, and he's really got to get to his Aghanim Scepter because his death wards have been fantastic even without that. And looking at the buybacks, we still have one on the Witch Doctor for the Dire side. The Radiant have it still available on 3, the Invoker, the Terrorblade, and the Vengeful Spirit. So they have a lot going for them. We're starting to get to a lot of the level 25 talents. Want to talk about those for a second?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh, BKB popped here. There's this scan. Here comes the Spirit Breaker right towards the Nyx Assassin, and they want to try to take it. And look at the huge damage from Excalibur, just critting him down. That's 1100 crits there. Here comes the Beatball, the Hex. They're taking Excalibur out of this one, and he has not been able to stay alive. He doesn't have buyback either. That's 117 seconds on the sideline. Huge fight for Slice and Dice, trying to just take it out of the Horde. He actually has a buyback come off cooldown right there. Beautiful vacuum on the 3 from 33, getting these heroes down. He's taking out pretty much 3 with that one. That's a lot of 3s for me. And Pudge is going to just dance as he gets away, as the Invoker also dies to Pablo. Great collapse from Horde, but there's still 3 buybacks available on Slice and Dice.
Marry a mother.
How many times must I set out
Yeah, it was great timing from him, making sure that his buyback just came off in the middle of that fight. Just working with the cooldowns, knowing that he has it up, and Nyx Assassin decides to blink right into the middle of the tornado because maybe he's just got a windy personality, probably with the burrow in the mid lane, just trying to set up shop here as Excalibur is going to push out top. Still, we've got Slice and Dice trying to defend their base from this one. Vengeful Spirit looking for some more items. Could be a Daedalus pretty soon for her as she wants to be on Excalibur level, getting some 1100 crits. They were pretty huge in the last fight, taking the Spirit Breaker down in about 3 hits.
Blessings upon a loyal warrior.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't use his BKB for so long. He hasn't used his buyback. Now his BKB is down to 5 seconds, but with the Roshan being up, Radiant do know about it. He is going to put out the tornado. They've got the smoke. He's trying to keep himself safe, and Nyx Assassin is very far forward here. Doesn't have the gem of True Sight on him anymore either, and, well, Horde are pretty grouped up here. They're going to go for the vacuum onto 2. BKB already popped by the punch. He thinks this member out onto the Dark here, trying to take him out, but Excalibur, he's got the damage on the backside. They have to find him. Alucard is going to man-fight him, and he actually doesn't have the Metamorphosis up. He was on cooldown for another second. Uses it here. Karate Kid nearly dead, but he's going to stay alive for now. Nice Hurricane Pike is going to force Alucard back. They kill off Excalibur, though, and S&D, they are doing so much here. Gork, he's trying to stay alive. Is he going to get out? They've got the Urn of Shadows on him. They need it. Here comes the Eclipse, though, and a Blade Mail by Meet Your Bob is going to shut him down. Another Dismember on the 33 is going to force him into a lot of trouble. Karate Kid trying to find him right underneath the shrine as well. He's hexed. He's in a lot of pain, but the Blade Mail doesn't mean that he's going to stay alive. Darkseer is going to fall down from the 25 seconds. No buyback available. It's time for Slice and Dice to end this game. They're going to go right in with Alucard, trying to force out some more buybacks from the Horde.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Coin of the realm.
And now we have... Right, it was so weird. I was like, why is the Alucard Terrorblade in melee range of the Shadow Fiend? I was like, oh, he doesn't have Metamorphosis until it came off of cooldown there. So they're going to finish off one of the racks in the middle lane as Slice and Dice start to go for bottom, and Horde really cannot defend this right now. It's going to be 2 sets of racks down. Can probably do anything right here. Gets the impel off on the 2, setting it up. Yeah, he just set it up there so that he knew he was going to get the double impel stun, but they're still going to lose their second set of racks here, and Slice and Dice feeling like they can make it into the semifinals. A lot of people thought that it would be the Horde. A lot of people thought that it would be the Horde trying to play against ProDota in the semifinals. Hook back onto the Nyx Assassin. BKB used by the Vengeful Spirit, trying to zone out the Dire side. Luna turned into a pig. She's going to BKB just as the magic missile comes through. Buyback from the Nyx Assassin. Excalibur's getting back in the fight in 10 seconds, looking for the Mega Creeps right now. They are going to be about to get it. Excalibur cannot respawn fast enough. Also doesn't have buyback when he does get up. That is the Megas coming in, and Slice and Dice, they just steal it all away from the Horde, and they are trying to just zone them. Oh no! Blink away by Nyx Assassin, betraying the Ake Witch Doctor, but Spirit Breaker just cannot deal with the damage.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Back from
Oh, E-Blade onto the pod. He's going to hit the Blade Mail. Nice vacuum on the 2, but 33 has the wall. He's have to put it inside the pit. Going to do it there. It's Havoc inside, and Terrorblade, he's taking so low off the ground. Looking for a Thunder, puts it on Gord, and Gord taking very low. It's a great fight for S&D. X-Power trying to stay alive, but he's got no one here to help him. Is trying to use the Satanic, is not going to be able to attack for long enough. The damage is too much, and Slice and Dice, what a great fight. It's a GG semi-finals berth here for Slice and Dice as they take the Horde punch for punch, blow for blow, and they are going to be playing against ProDota in the semifinals. Oh my gosh, Slice and Dice, they just played their hearts out here. It takes 70 minutes of fun-filled, action-packed game of Dota here, and eventually it's Slice and Dice to come out on top of the fracas, and